That's my good guy and a bastard.
My one is similar to your first one, and it's not a person, but it's a movement, and it's the Merthyr Rising, which again was in a podcast on. It's 1831. I won't go into too much detail because we got a whole episode on it, but at the time, Merthyr, largest town in Wales, one of the most important, iron capital of Britain, supplying all the world with their iron. The rising, why did it happen? Workers were paid in truck wages, so they could only buy. They weren't given money; they were given tokens to buy at shops, and which meant the food they were buying
It's
was
literally like being paid in like Kex credit, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, you can only buy things from
and you
Kex.
can only buy it from Kex, and the Kex sent up their prices. So falling wages, rising food prices, brutal debt enforcement. So anyone who was in debt to the company then got their fucking stuff taken horribly. People getting arrested en masse. There was no political representation. So thousands of workers joined this giant march. They went to the people who were in jail. They freed those who were in jail. They took over Merthyr. The Merthyr literally got invaded by troops. British troops got sent there, and the Merthyr miners held them off. It was like literally they had like the Brecon battalion on horses got held off. They ended up getting guns. They held the police in their court. Like literally the soldiers were cast out of Merthyr. Parliament sent a bunch of troops down there from Swansea, Brecon, Cardiff. Violence broke out, and then soldiers shot into the crowd, and then some soldiers got killed. It was the largest armed civilian uprising in Britain since the 17th century. So, post like peasant rebellions. But Dick Penderyn, you'll know he was accused of stabbing a soldier with very weak evidence, and he ended up being hung and widely believed to be a scapegoat, and he became a big martyr. But the reason why I thought this is like an interesting one for accidentally changing the world, it was the first time ever a white fist with a red flag, or a red flag was shown by protesters before the white fist. Sorry, it was the red flag, which is now like a symbol.
I remember the red flag. I remember reading about that being a symbol. Yeah.
It's the background for the communist flag, but more than that, it was a. First of all, it was associated with like defiance, but it's the earliest documentation of a workers' revolutionary symbol. So any workers' rights group became a red flag symbol. So you have like, communists is workers, is hammer and sickle, like workers' trade. But it became the backdrop for any workers' revolution to have a red flag, maybe a red flag with a fist, a red flag with a sickle. No matter what it is, the red flag is the backdrop for a socialist movement or a working class movement. And it got adopted across all of Europe. And it became a global symbol then of labour and revolution. So it scared the British working class, like terrified them. Government released industrial Britain. It caused unionization, it caused representation, it caused the Reform Act, so it caused expansion of political rights to workers. It birthed labour politics, so workers at scale could unionize. It helped the Labour Party grow. Class conflict was no longer theoretical. Class conflict became real.
Huge knock-ons, yeah.
It led to the Chartism, trade union, and labour representation, and it pushed Britain to being from very conservative to being very like a huge network of labour movements. It caused like. By the 19th century, red flags were across the world, from Paris to Chicago. It was a symbol of class solidarity, and it all started off in Merthyr. It accidentally changed the world by.
What's this? Yeah.
But what?
What's this? What's this? Red, man.
Oh,
red. Me and you. We're still.
I thought you were talking like your dog. What's this? What's that? What's this?
What's this? What's this?
It's a good time. It produced better pay, better food, better dignity, and also it was a warning shot that reshaped industrial politics, and it all started from Merthyr.